Christian Voice New Zealand, and hey, thanks for joining me today as we look at today's culture through the lens of the Bible. So here we are, the 79th United Nations General Assembly is underway, and in the next few days New Zealand's Foreign Minister Winston Peters will stand before the world and speak on our behalf. Well, that's the official line. He'll declare New Zealand's position on the agenda items, and it'll be framed as the voice of the people. Hey, but let's be honest, does it really reflect what most Kiwis think? Well, two issues stand out, and they're not minor. The first one is Israel and Palestine. Question is, will New Zealand back a two-state solution? Will we support the formal recognition of the Palestinian state? Now, I doubt the average Palestinian is losing sleep over whether New Zealand supports them or not. But here at home, there's a growing chorus saying that we should. But let's be clear, much of that support is driven by both emotion and ignorance. Ignorance of history, ignorance of the Jewish people's ancestral and legal rights to the land, and ignorance of what's really driving the Palestinian leadership, specifically Hamas. Have you noticed that people will chant from the river to the sea without grasping its implications? It's become the latest protest fashion accessory. Not long ago it was Black Lives Matter, then Me Too, and the next month it'll be something else. But no one will dispute that there is a crisis in Gaza which needs to be resolved. But let's not kid ourselves. Do you think anyone in Gaza knows where New Zealand is, let alone cares what we think? Hey, if we were to flip the script, would the people of Gaza care about the race issues currently happening in our country, let alone march for a two-state New Zealand? I'm not without sympathy, but Hamas knew exactly what they were doing when they attacked Israel and took hostages. They lit the fuse, and now the West is grappling with the fallout. If we're going to weigh in, we'd be better to understand the consequences, because they're real. The second issue before the UN is the United Nations Pandemic Treaty. Now, this one's been flying under the radar, but it's massive. Now, if you've been a viewer or a follower of Christian Voice New Zealand, you'll remember that I've spoken about this pact for the future on numerous occasions over the last 2 years. The United Nations wants member states to sign a global emergency management pact in case of another pandemic. Sounds noble, right? But here's the catch. Signing it means surrendering sovereignty. Unlike other nations, New Zealand hasn't rushed to sign it. Peter says we're taking a hard, long look at it. Well, that's good, because once you hand over control, especially to an unelected global body, you don't get it back. Remember the lockdowns under Ardern's kindness? New Zealand changed. Attitude shifted. Now imagine that on a global scale. Decisions made not in Wellington but in Geneva or New York. United Nations troops on our streets. And that's not sci-fi, that's the logical end of global governance. Biblically, we're in the last days. I've said it before. The signs are everywhere. A new world order is posturing. Military build-ups, economic instability, food shortages, banking fragility, it's all converging. You know, Jesus spoke of the fig tree. He said, when the buds appear, you know that spring is near. Well, the buds are not just appearing, they're opening. Support for Israel is waning. The machinery of the one world government is grinding into place. And while we can't stop it, we can prepare. Now, each one of us will have to give an account. That's not fear-mongering, it's biblical reality. So next time you hear from the river to the sea, ask yourself, what does it really mean? If it comes to pass, whose hands will be stained with blood? So stay strong, be courageous. There is good news, always has been. God's people will stand in victory not because of politics, but because of promise. It's written on our hearts, embedded in our minds, found in the Word. But don't take my word for it. Pick up a Bible. Talk to your God-bothering mate, your neighbour, your work colleague. Because when history is written, you'll want to be on the right side of it. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Really, we do look forward to your comments. And as always, whatever way your heart directs, whether it be in prayer or financially, we appreciate your support. And don't forget to sign up for our free weekly newsletter, which we're getting tremendous support for. And of course that's scheduled to arrive in your inbox each Wednesday. And you can do this from our website, christianvoicenewzealand.com. Just want to leave you with this thought. In the whirlwind of global politics, pandemics and prophetic signs, this promise stands unshakable. The same God who holds the nations in his hands goes with you. He never sleeps, never shrinks back, and he will never, ever abandon you. So anchor your soul today in his presence, and you'll stand firm no matter how fierce the storm. Just keep in mind Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Hey, until next time.